People are claiming that their food stamps have been taken away. We don't know until when, mind you. Remember that next month is Thanksgiving. Some of you may not like turkey. Incredibly fascinating. And the reason this makes me laugh so much is that I was trying to warn you about the kinds of things that would occur under the Trump administration, but you all ignored me. You guys only bothered about the fact that I called them shrimp. Or that, everyone always uses a teleprompter to give a speech. My teleprompter wasn't functioning properly. Thank God I was able to write down my speech on my phone. But I made sure to conduct my research first so that I could share it with the world. And what do you know? It went viral whether or not I have an accent. Indeed, you guys showed no interest in what I had to say. All you get is me saying shrimp. They still use that against me in an attempt to be humorous. But you know what? Saying shrimp is not as important as what I was saying. Additionally, your mother no longer receives food stamps. And next month is Thanksgiving. I can also see why people became so desperate and wanted to vote for a different party because the Joe Biden administration made many promises that they never kept. But while you were saying things like eat the rich and this benefits the rich, etc., you weren't going through this kind of thing. This government may help the wealthy, but what kind of wealthy? Do you understand what I'm saying? What is a rich person? The wealthy are not doctors. The wealthy aren't used as performers because, well, what do you mean? In reality, it only helps billionaires because tax reductions and other benefits are only available to those who make a specific amount of money and run a specific number of businesses. For instance, you'll think I'm wealthy, right? As if I were a millionaire, don't you think? But the cost of life has gone up for everything damned. Everything is now elevated. For example, I placed an order for furniture from Italy, and you know how much they attempted to charge me to get it sent from Italy to America due to tariffs. $15,000 then. If you all consider it, why do you have clothing that ranges from fast fashion to high fashion? Why has the cost been so high? Everything has been getting more expensive, including Chanel, Fashion Nova, and Shein. Due to the high cost of the tariffs, everyone senses it. If you're not one of those billionaires, that is. That's what this party actually gains from. Furthermore, it's true that the Republican Party enjoyed finding someone to blame, and immigrants were used as a scapegoat for the hardships we had endured during the previous 4 years. Immigrants, I pretty much removed every single legal immigrant. Damn it. Additionally, grocery prices remain high. Everything is still incredibly expensive. The government is closed and tariffs are skyrocketing. What is the reason currently that fewer immigrants are present? Because Republicans are always looking for someone to blame. And believe me, they would if they could. It's always an scapegoat, I guess. Even when he was killed, he died in the most horrible way possible. No one is worthy of leaving in that manner. But you know what? A scapegoat is always involved. It's always gay people. The blacks are constantly there. The immigrants are always at fault. No, it's the Republican who is white. It was quite sad when a white Republican who was raised in Utah took him out. But you know what? It's not anyone's fault. Minorities are not to blame for that. America was to blame for that. We are constantly looking for a scapegoat or an excuse for America's problems. You're going to blame immigration for it. They will attribute it to black people. They will attribute it to neighborhood criminality. They will not assign any blame. In actuality, our government is simply awful. That is simply a fact. And I just wanted to let you know that because, we don't always pay attention to what's happening. I usually don't pay attention because I have a lot going on. Everybody has a lot going on. We leave for work, we grow weary. We attend school, We have relationship problems. We have everything, no matter what. When you take a step back and consider it, you realize that living expenses have been rising significantly. Why has everything been changing, you ask? Why is this the case? Why is that? What is causing the government to shut down? You then take a seat back as you sit back and begin to consider it. You realize that the answer is staring you in the face. The impoverished are not helped by these government women. Thus, now that this administration has eliminated all ICE, has made it a top goal to apprehend every single illegal immigrant in this nation. But not all of them have done so. The great majority of immigrants, I don't know where they come from, whatever they have taken out. I now want to know why the costs remain so high. I believe that the reason why prices, food stamps, other benefits were so expensive was because we continued to provide them to these undocumented immigrants. Now that they are gone, what was the problem? Why is the government closed? I wanted to let you know this before. Let me explain. You all recall the time I didn't want to vote for anyone because I was furious with the Joe Biden administration because I felt like they were encouraging it by saying things like, no, we're going to support, and no, you should be pushing more for rather than seeking peace in the Middle East, which I don't have to name with whom. However, I did sit down with a few others. I observed that he and Kamala held distinct ideologies and that she desired to pursue different goals than he did when he was in office. She just didn't have a voice. Trying to be humorous, I said, you know what? She and all of you gave a hand to this day, like she said, Trump. She got a shrum. I was also attempting to alert you to the fact that this is the kind of thing that would occur should the Trump administration return. What else have I been observing, And I saw that they were doing a lot of things to bait Black people, minorities, LGBT people, and everyone else when the tragedy occurred last month. They were attempting to begin as yes. For example, when a mother says, yeah, boy, I challenge you. Boy, I challenge you. Many of those were what they were attempting to initiate. But regrettably, it didn't work out because no one offered a D. However, seems like there was a lot of racism on the timeline last month. Since discussing it could lead to an attack, honey, we won't be talking about it. You could be bitten. Do you understand what I mean? However, I am aware that you all noticed the baiting one side was doing, and no one fell for it. Since it wasn't a huge deal, as I mentioned, there wasn't much discussion about it. We didn't think much of it. Apologies. The racial war you guys were attempting to ignite failed because no one gave up on the boy. But the bait debate did. We didn't care because it wasn't that deep. Do you understand what I mean? They have been feeling incredibly powerful, as if they could say or bake anything. And I knew that this was going to happen because I was in authority once more. People are therefore expecting celebrities to speak out more about the general dissatisfaction with the government shutdown. Everyone is complaining about food stamps and other things. Additionally, you all desire a large number of celebrities as well as others with platforms to speak out about it. It's as if it tried to alert you last year. Yes. Tried to alert you last year. Yes.